Vintage is a vintage clothing boutique specializing in Japanese designer and American vintage. We started as a physical space in 2022 in April.
Okay, awesome, man.
So it's
This
coming
is-
up on 4 years now, which is pretty crazy.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Is this the original location?
Yeah, so Japantown is the original, and then in 2023, we opened the Haight Street location.
Okay, right, yeah.
And then, pretty exciting news, this month, actually in like 10 days, I'll be flying to Osaka to open a Japan location.
Are you
in
kidding?
Osaka.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
good for you.
Yeah,
That's
well,
so
fingers
cool.
crossed if all goes well.
Yeah.
I like vintage,
Yeah.
would love it.
I love it. I love it. You
Yeah.
have any recommendations for, obviously,
Yeah.
Osaka's kind of your...
Yeah, Osaka I love. I mean, I think if you have to like do like a couple cities, definitely Tokyo is like just absolutely insane. Like
Right.
it's like thousands of stores.
Yeah,
like,
biggest
it's
city
crazy.
in the world, basically. Biggest
And then Osaka's really great too, as a little is like a very remarkably different style and also culture, which is really cool.
Right.
And then I mean, just about any city you go to in Japan, there's going to be like a thriving vintage scene. It's like just so huge
cool.
over there. Yeah.
So that kind of brings me where you see Japan at in vintage.
Yeah, every time I go, like I always see new kind of like subcultures or trends or really just collectors, just new things bubbling up. So I feel like every time I go, it's very like inspiring and keeps me going. Like oh shit, like there's this whole like thing around like this designer or this category that like the depth is insane.
When did you know you were going to open a shop?
So I was born and raised in San Francisco. And my kind of like second neighborhood I grew up in was here, Japantown. So, being fourth generation Japanese American, there's like this whole thing called urban renewal in the 60s where a lot of the Japanese and black families were displaced out of Japantown in the Fillmore, which is right over there.
Right.
So yeah, my family, or a lot of Japanese families no longer live in Japantown, but the community centers and the different things here have remained, the churches.
Yeah.
So I grew up, going to after school, playing basketball, like martial arts.
Yeah.
My first job. So I kind of always felt like I also grew up in Japantown.
Totally.
So I kind of had this vision in my head of, one day doing something here. I wasn't sure what, but and then I was doing vintage, and then actually after the pandemic, so like when things were reopening, like 2021, I noticed that there was a lot of empty spaces because a lot of the stores had closed down in Japantown.
Oh, totally.
So then it was just kind of like the right time at the right moment where I saw that there were open spaces. I like knew about vintage and was actively selling vintage at that time. So I just kind of was like, yeah, let's do it.
And I just came into the play. I love like the bridge spot too. It's
Yeah,
totally unique,
yeah.
like as far as I mean, this mall, we've been plenty of times to the mall particularly, but so you kind of just landed on the bridge, or was that kind of a dream of yours?
Well, yeah, it's like I always knew I wanted to do like a very like small imprint, like kind of like when you go shopping in Japan, honestly, like the space is gonna be like really, really small.
Really, right.
So I've always been like drawn to that, where like this is like only it's less than 200 square feet in here.
Yeah, totally. There's basically kind of 2 aisles in the back little corner, which
so
is
I wanted
sweet.
like the smallest space possible, and then I was just really drawn to the space in particular. This used to be the San Francisco Taiko Dojo space, and it was there for like my whole childhood and for as long as anyone could remember. So then when it closed really suddenly because of the pandemic,
right,
it was like, holy shit, right? But then there was like no sign, and then it was just like empty. But then, I like reached out through my family to like a community leader named Sandy Mori, and she put me in contact with the right people. So it was very like serendipitous.
Yeah, right place, right time. And
yeah.
It's a sweet location. We
thank
were
you.
walking down earlier. We actually saw you can see the back.
If
you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, totally.
Super cool. Well, I mean, this place looks like it probably grew up a little bit. Started.
Yeah.
Where did it start?
Yeah. So I remember I got the keys on like April 1st, and then like because I would like sell at flea markets, right? So I was used to like setting up something like an hour. So I got the keys and then like set up a bunch of like super quick at night, and then the next day like I soft opened like in one day, and I just like put racks in and like so I just like opened basically the same day I got the keys.
Sweet.
So that's always been the mindset of like just doing it, like opening, being super like loose with it, not like super perfect, as you can tell. Like I'm always like rearranging stuff or like changing things. So definitely evolving over time.
Fun
for
little
sure.
things. I mean, I feel like this always, I'm sure, evolves here and there with new things. I mean, I saw you bringing new things in on the rack. As we walked in, he was literally restocking the whole thing.
Yeah, restocks every day pretty much.
One of two locations in San Francisco, the Haight Street location we've been to as well.
Awesome.
For the viewers, the location is insane. There's the same curation as here, just twice the square footage, basically. So
exactly.
Multiply. Really well curated.
Awesome.
Yeah. If we go
thank you.
If we go
Appreciate
to Haight,
it.
it's a stop for sure.
Appreciate it.
What does it look like for ownership as far as running? I mean, possibly 3 stores.
Yeah. I mean, that's like probably the most like learn as you go. Like even this year, like a little like thing like with my payment processor Square, like I learned like after a year you can like email them and they'll lower your rates, but like only if you ask. So it's always like little tricks and tidbits of like, you know, like the business hacks and like, oh, like what you can like tax wise, like, you know, a bunch of like really learning as you go.
Yeah, all the little gears in the machine.
Yeah. So really, I feel like it's kind of similar to like the process of opening and starting small and going step by step is exactly that. Like just kind of step by step, like see what comes naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
And then grow from there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you guys opened up kind of same thing on Haight Street. Haight Street was basically empty. It used to be stores. I mean, a lot of them had been there for 50 years or more. So I mean, you guys kind of same story with that location. You just felt it was right. I mean, it became such a vintage mecca.
And you know, same thing around Haight. There's just like right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Like a unit just matched. So yeah, it was kind of similar. Yeah.
Right. I love
serendipitous.
it. Yeah. The city is like filled up in the past like year and a half or 2 years.
Haight was really cool too, because you know, growing up in San Francisco, I definitely like shopped for myself on Haight. Like probably the most. Like
there's always been cool stuff.
Yeah,
always, forever, as long as Haight's been around.
Yeah, so it feels really cool to do that like full circle moment.
Right, kind of same thing. Somebody who grew up doing something you love.
Yeah.
What do you think the most challenging part of running specifically a vintage and secondhand store is?
I feel like a big challenge is selling and like buying is the fun part.
Right.
Like sourcing and buying is so fun. But like selling is the hard part. So, you know, we've like tried many things, like, oh, let's change up our categories or let's change up like the organization. And then what I've ended up doing more so, what I found is that like I've seen that, you know, probably like with the economy and just like the more proliferation of vintage is that there's like pricing was like rising essentially, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like customers who might have been looking for like more expensive things previously were craving like more like accessible options. So I actually did the decision to actually like cut my prices.
Right.
So what I used to sell for like t-shirts for like 18 when we first opened, now we sell for like 14.
Right.
Because, you know, I've always thought that a great thing about vintage was like kind of back to my like me as like a high schooler is that, you know, I could afford it, right?
Totally.
So having like, of course, the like super designer stuff like is going to be at a higher price point that not everybody can afford, so having options for everyone. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, everybody's got their one piece you know, you spent you know, whatever you did on that you love. But I mean, we all have those pieces. And
I've actually enjoyed dropping my prices too. And like I think if you're able to, like not all businesses can, like if you're able to, it creates like a pretty cool like win-win situation. It's very rewarding for me to have a business in Japantown as a Japanese American who grew up in Japantown. That's like super meaningful to me. You know, like the community I come from is like very small and honestly dwindling. So it feels cool to like do that and like kind of find things like my 2 display pieces are like super niche like JA community stuff.
I love it.
So that feels very meaningful. Same thing for Haight, like, which is, you know, kind of like me transporting back to like me as like a high schooler and like being from, you know, just like being in a place where not only people from San Francisco, but people all over, you know, NorCal or even like tourists from all over the world come to and like kind of, shop and, you know, get to experience San Francisco. That's very meaningful. A space that can provide for my team members and my employees is very meaningful as well, that we can, employ people and
Right.
allow them, and they're all like artists and creatives, so
Yeah.
for them it's like a way for them to like have a cool job but also pursue like their passions.
Store, do people help you source, or is that kind of a
I
solo
do
gig?
pretty much all the sourcing, like
Nice.
99%.
Yeah.
And then my brother will help out with some band tea curation, as well as my brother does straight to Japan, like really high end band teas.
Okay, yeah,
As
where
well.
you guys just
Yeah,
beeline
yeah,
them straight to the
yeah,
source.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we do a little bit of consignment of two of my employees as well. Help me
Okay.
sometimes with that. Yeah.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm basically doing all the buying.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, with this much curation,
Yeah,
you gotta make
yeah.
sure it's going through one funnel. As far as like Bay Area artists or anybody, do you guys have any curation? Do you guys work with anybody fun that you've been super excited about? I know vintage has
Yeah.
been coming, especially luxury is one of those things
Yeah.
that people love.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, what's fun, like when I actually first started Chameleon, I used to live in LA when I was working for Interscope Records, and when I was like selling at the flea markets there, I was able to connect with like Yeat's manager very early on. So I was able to like sell some pieces to him that he wore in like
Yeah.
a lot of his early music videos, which is pretty
That's
crazy.
so cool. Yeah.
Like some Yoji Yamamoto stuff, some Undercover stuff, some
Yeah.
Issei Miyake stuff. It was really cool, and like some other rappers like in that scene too, like
Right.
Can and stuff like that. And then that's always been fun. And then in the Bay Area, yeah, definitely, there's been a lot of artists that have come through, shown love, bought things, worn things. Lil Dre, who's a skateboarder as well as a rapper,
Right,
he's
yeah.
been a longtime supporter.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like really awesome. And then all my employees also are like, many of them are
Yeah,
artists
of
who
sorts, yeah.
definitely style from here the most.
That's so cool, yeah.
Yeah, my employee 143 Kane, check him out. Zanubis, check him out. Vaj, SV Chucky. Yeah, and then just like so many other people like within the local scene, like honestly, so many people, yeah.
That's so
It's been
cool.
really
I
cool.
to love it. Your favorite neighborhood as far as curation goes, as far as
Mm-hmm.
thrifting goes, is kind of where do you go if you were to be the first time in San Francisco to find like a good style or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, for sure. What I love about San Francisco that I think is super special is that you can like really easily bop around.
Yep.
Like it's so fun to either bus hop or, like if you have a car or just on the bus, on the Muni, on BART. Yeah, just like literally bop around. So I'd say you definitely got to hit up Haight. That's like a good place to start, honestly. Also, like Mission has really great ones. Valencia, they have great like vintage stops as well as thrift shops.
Right.
Now increasingly like this little like Japantown section, like Japantown up through Fillmore, then on Polk as well has a lot of really great stores.
Yeah.
There's just so many. Yeah, there's like an amazing growing amount of stores that I think
Yeah.
is beautiful. There's this one website called SF Vintage Maps that does a really great job of mapping like every single store.
Right.
They
That's
have a
cool.
Google map, so I'd highly recommend check them out. Download
Yeah.
the Google map.
So-
So that was a bad answer because I basically said everywhere.
No, that's okay. Which is good, though. It kind of leads me
Yeah.
to another question.
Yeah.
For me, it seems San Francisco seems to be coming up in the clothing world.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to start competing with Los Angeles, New York? Do you think there's
Yeah.
a direction for that? Because there's a lot of history here from a lot of
Yeah.
brands and things like that.
For sure, yeah.
But do you see a next generation of fashion coming from San Francisco?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I travel to LA a lot and travel to New York a lot to source, and I travel to Tokyo. This next year I'll also be going to like London, Paris, Italy, just like see what's out there,
Yeah,
like get
the world.
inspired by. And I totally think that San Francisco like has an amazing scene in terms of like all the vintage stores are great that have kind of every level too. Whether it's like thrift, like American vintage, luxury consignment, modern resale. It has a lot of stores as well as a lot of great markets. Like there's
Yeah.
so many amazing, whether it's like Alameda, the pop-ups on Valencia Street, Rock Ridge, Wardrobe Project, San Jose, pop-up SJ, World's Worst.
Yeah, they're out here now too.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's like honestly like so many markets. It's like hard to keep track.
Yeah.
I like asking my like seller friends like, yo, where are you selling this weekend? They'll be like,
Right.
selling here. Like pop up at a coffee shop here. Like it's really cool. Yeah. So I feel like SF will definitely get a shine. And you're right, we do have a lot of great history and a lot of brands coming up from the Bay. And I mean, I hope that's another cool thing that I'm excited for about opening in Osaka, is hopefully like establishing more of that connection.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I feel like you guys have just such a cool vibe. I mean, you can cut in my opinion, to any market. You have attainable pieces. You have stuff.
Yeah.
That could introduce people to a whole new designer market and everything.
Thanks.
So it's really cool.
Appreciate that.